Welcome to Daytona qualifying for the Kumon 500, which will be on September 24th. 44 drivers will tackle this track today, and they'll go in groups of 11. So we've got David Ragon, David Gilliland, Greg Biffle, Kyle Busch, Paul Menard, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Chris Buescher, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, and Eric Almirola in Group 1. So this is how it all went. Joey Logano and Michael McDowell came together. Almirola just barely missed that incident. And then at the end of the session, we had a bunch of cars pushing each other. That allowed Ryan Blaney to get the fastest time. So you can see here, this is the order at the moment. It will change as we get the top 12. So this is Group 2. If you can see their numbers, you'll know who the drivers are. But Darrell Wallace Jr. gets pushed out wide the last second. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kevin Harvick, Noah Goldberg, Jack Lawton, and Casey Kane get themselves into that top 12. This is what it's like at the moment. The cutoff spot is Tony Stewart. And I got group 3. We got some pretty good drivers in this group. So expect to see not a lot of surprises. Well, Matt Kenseth got loose early on. And then in Group 4, Robert Richardson Jr. ran out after making contact with Ryan Newman. Keselowski got by that. In the end, though, it was Ryan Blaney setting the fastest time of them all. Jack Lawton ends up in second. Matt Kenseth in third. Clint Bowyer in fourth. Fifth belongs to Chase Elliott. Then, sixth place is taken by Carl Edwards. And Kurt Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Noah Goldberg, Bobby Labonte, Landon Castle, and Jimmy Johnson barely making it in at the expense of Denny Hamlin. Disappointment for Denny. But you've still got your duel. You'll probably qualify well. I mean, you're a Gibbs, for goodness sake. This is the finish line, and we're going to go live for the checkers. So the checkers are out, and Chase Elliott sets a pretty decent lap time. Here comes Jack Lawton, though. He's going to take the top spot. Kurt Busch, by 5 thousandths of a second, jumps in front. And look at that, Edwards and Blaney sneak in there. Third and fourth at the moment. 5/100ths of a second, I should say. Oh, trouble! Clint Bowyer's around. And that costs him. Look at this, 6 cars racing to the line. It's Stenhouse, Kenseth, Goldberg, Castle, Labonte, and Johnson. Johnson got kind of held up there. He might be last. Here we go. Kenseth is your pole sitter. So let's take a look at the grid. For Sunoco Duel 1, Matt Kenseth will be on the pole, and alongside him it will be Kurt Busch. Then Noah Goldberg and Jack Lawton, best buddies for Canadian Motorsports, starting on the second row. Then Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson, 2 pretty experienced drivers. Then Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. Trevor Bayne, a surprise upset, and Casey Kane getting in there. Kyle Busch and Casey Mears, boy, those guys have some work to do. They're pretty fast, so you expect them to be quick. G. McMurray and Tony Stewart, both have had Bass Pro Shops, one of their sponsors. And can they be the fish out of water on next week? AJ Allmendinger and Ty Dillon are next. Michael Waltrip and Danica Patrick follow after that. Eric Almirola and David Gilliland are next up. And on the back row, it consists of Chris Buescher and Michael McDowell, 2 non-chartered drivers that have to waste their way in. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is on the pole for a second Sunoco duel. Alongside him is Landon Castle. Got a lot of upsets up here. Bobby Labonte starts third with Ryan Blaney in fourth. He's one of the non-chartered drivers, so he's essentially locked in if he doesn't crash. Chase Elliott and Clint Bowyer are next up in the field, followed by Brad Keselowski and Austin Dillon. Michael Annett and Alex Bowman are after that. Bowman's one of those non-chartered racers. Then William Law and Darrell Wallace Jr., Brian Vickers and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Don't think you expect to see them at the back of towards the halfway point in the field, but so it is. Just weren't fast enough. Regan and Biffle are next up, followed by Paul Menard and Brian Scott. After that, we have Ryan Newman and Matt DiBenedetto. I swear that names confuse me every time. And Joey Logano is starting at the back of the grid with Robert Richardson Jr., who's starting in front of him. Yeah, I don't think you saw that one coming. Well, he crashed, so yeah. Anyways, I hope to see you next week for the first of the Sunoco duels on September 17th. The other one's on the 18th as well. So, see ya.